your source for everything paranormal. Para-X. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The Calling.
And good evening, everyone. This is Jerry with The Calling, along with my co-host with the Mo-host, Kimberly Juarez. Kimberly, how's it going there, darling?
Hello, Jerry. How are you?
Doing quite well, quite well. A little silly today.
Yeah. Like the weather. It's a little silly. We got some snow and some rain. Ridiculous.
It's absolutely stupid. I mean, they got snow in northeast Minneapolis, not too far away from me last night, where people were complaining on Facebook, God, I hate this snow. It's coming down like crazy. And it's like, I'm looking out the window going, there is no snow over here, and that's only 2 miles away.
Right.
So,
right.
Yes, Sherry, I did say Mo-host. I don't know where that came from.
That's
just absolutely.
The most host. I don't know. Mo, I don't know.
Mo-host. You're the Mo-host. Oh, gosh. So, I was talking to Kimberly. I went down to do laundry. Right? Laundry?
Laundry.
No, not laundry. Laundry. I was trying to be out east, and you're like across the, the
coast.
pond. Yeah,
Right.
Anyway. So I'm down there doing laundry, and this lady and her son, he was like 12, 13, 14, right around there. It's hard to tell with kids nowadays. He could have been 50. I don't know. Anyway, so she asked me, she said, well, are you new here? And I said, yeah. I said, actually, we just moved in, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And she goes, oh, your wife? And I was like, no, a friend of mine that needed a place because her mother told her, we're selling a house, you got to move out. I said, so she's only 24, but she's like, I'm like a father figure, and she's never been on her own. Yeah. So she was the first one that came to me and said, hey, do you mind a roommate? And I was like, no, that's fine. She's never here. She's always gone. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I must have been like that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was out at 13. So yeah, I was always gone. I was never home. But anyway, so we started talking and stuff, and the kid was asking me a bunch of questions, and he said, are you paranormal Popo? I just started laughing. I go, yeah. And he's like, you are? And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, oh, that's our internet, is Paranormal Popo.
That is great.
Yeah, she just kind of rolled her eyes, and she goes, he said, well, are you into that? And I said, yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I said, I'm with Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota. And she was kind of looked at me, and she goes, so like, you do ghosts and stuff like that? And I said, well, yeah, we'd go hunting for ghosts and Bigfoot, UFOs.
Wait, Jerry, I love it when somebody says, you do ghosts? People say that all the time. I'm like, wow, I don't do ghosts, but you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's kind of funky. I just have to say that.
It sounds dirty. It sounds really dirty.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
It is. It's very weird. So anyway, so the kid, boom, just started asking questions left and right. After the mother said, so do you believe in Bigfoot? I go, yes. she goes, oh, well, there's been no one's ever found him. I said, that's exactly right. I said, think of it this way. I said, all the stuff that you eat, like, like you, I'm sure you have your sweet cereals in the morning and stuff that's filled with, everything from probably citric acid to hydrochloric acid, stuff like that. I said, we're not doing natural stuff. I said, if Bigfoot, is out there, which I said, I have seen him. And then I had to explain about what I had seen. And she said, well, I just don't believe it. I said, I'm not trying to get you to believe me. I said,
Right.
I'm just letting you know that I did see it, and I don't have any proof of it except for I was shocked as much as everybody else. But I will tell my story because I'm not embarrassed about it.
Right.
But anyway, I said,
Well,
but
you can't see a bear carcass out in the woods. That's for sure.
Exactly.
When do you ever see? Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? So a Bigfoot, I think the same thing. Go ahead, Jerry. I'm sorry. I just had to throw that in there.
No worries, no worries. Some Bigfoot researchers that they claim that there is a lot of physical evidence to suggest the creature exists.
Right.
Now, they're also including that there's hair, blood, tissue, tracks, and poop.
Right.
I'm sorry that if this was really out there and if this was really Bigfoot, this would be on the news.
Right.
I really believe that, but if I just don't believe. This is me again, skeptic Jer. Smack me in the head, hit me with a shovel, whatever. I've seen him. I know he's real, but with people claiming that they have, all the hair samples and even saliva samples and stuff like that, I just, I just have a problem with that. Let's see it. Don't just sit there and say you have it.
Right.
Let's see if you can match up the all these samples with other samples from around the United States or around the world to see if they have a close resemblance or DNA of each other, of an animal that's not that's not out there.
Right.
It's not
Right.
listed and stuff. But anyway, it was weird to see that after I looked it up, I've been looking up a lot of this stuff. I'm sure you have too. You're part
I
of
always do.
Squatchers,
Yeah.
the
Yes,
number
we
one
do.
most elite team there is in the United States.
That's our
And,
number one fan speaking, everyone. That's our number one fan right there.
That's right. Well, even Dr. Jane Goodall says
Oh, yeah.
that there is, and even Jeffrey Meldrum
Mhm.
of Idaho
Oh,
State
yeah.
University even claims that there is such thing as Bigfoot,
Mhm.
except for nobody has come forth with anything. So
right.
it's a belief thing, but she asked me, well, what, how come they don't find any kind of anything of them? I said, well, that's true. I said, there is no, physical remains. There's no fossils found or anything like that. But again, Mother Nature, is...
Well, that's in the Bible, Jerry. These Neanderthal type of creatures are in the Bible too as well. So, I mean, they go back in time.
Oh,
you know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. Wow.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
interesting.
so-
Well, see, you just started working for a church, and now all of a sudden you're finally reading.
No,
the
I
Bible
knew that.
after you-
I knew that
Oh,
before, though, when I started working for the church.
Gotcha. But it's funny is that the breaking down of an animal remains only takes about 10 days.
Right.
So if you're thick in the woods, how many people go really deep into the woods?
Exactly.
I mean, you girls have been out, but
Yeah.
you girls have not spent days and days and days
No.
walking into the middle of the forest and stuff.
And the forest is huge. I mean, it's huge. There's no way you're going to be able to cover the forest, especially up north. It's so big. And there's lots of places, lots of crevices, lots of caves, lots of underwater, wherever they go. There's so many places to hide. I mean, there's just
Exactly.
us girls. There's not enough of us out there, to
Right.
be able to track that yet.
And,
I mean, who's to say?
Exactly. And one thing that I found that I think is very interesting is that the one big thing that's keeping you guys from actually going deep, deep, deep is that there's no Starbucks out there. I know you guys, because I could see Katie have her Keurig in her backpack and no place to plug the damn thing in. You know?
Right? Hey, we're hardcore. That's all I gotta say. We just make sure we take that Keurig.
Exactly.
That is so true.
Kat's asking a question. She says, but how would they positive ID a Bigfoot here? They ruled out anything else on some samples. There's no positive Bigfoot hair to say yes to. And that is true. Right. That's true. Now, they have found hairs that they can't say what it is. But you can't say...
I was just going to say that.
Exactly. But you can't say that it's...
Bigfoot.
that it's Bigfoot.
Right.
Yeah, you can't
Could you imagine? It's just like this epidemic about the coronavirus. Could you imagine if somebody said, look, I found a Bigfoot and blah, blah, blah. I mean, people would panic, I think. I really do, to know that these creatures are really, to know that they're out there. I mean, let's just saying, So.
Right, right. And then Paranormal Writer, he says pine tree macchiato, whatever you call it. And Kat says mountain gorillas didn't exist till some white men saw them, even though the locals knew they certainly did exist. Exactly. That is a very good point. But there's some people that, some people, I think they want to be more on their comfortable side and not worry about that, even though they may even walk into a city park. That fear can really get them. Like I've seen the fear in some people's faces when they go into even like Silverwood right next to my place here. And one day I was in there, I was going to take some pictures of some owls and stuff. Yeah. And number one, I couldn't get up the hill. It was too slimy, and I'm still not walking the best yet. But there was coyotes around. And that kind of makes you a little bit nervous in a way. Even though coyotes are skittish, around the cities here, they have been known to attack people's dogs and be very aggressive to people because there is no food around for them. Right. So it's something you really got to watch out for. Yeah, especially in the city. Especially in the city where there's hardly any type of little creatures for them to eat, Exactly. So it's a little bit tougher for them. Yeah. Exactly. Let's see here. Who else wrote something here? Yeah, they did. Cat, too many tales of similar creatures all over, each adapted to that area of the world to think they can't exist. Yep, agreed. Right. And what does Paranormal Writer say there? The scary thing is that the legit DNA sample, that the government or some black ops private organization is probably already started cloning them. True. That. No, you can't say true. It's an interesting. Right. Hold on. Let me finish. It's an interesting, thing to say because we don't know what our government's doing. Well, yeah, we will never know. Right. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that even the government hides things. I mean, like you said, Jerry, remember you took pictures saying that you saw something in the sky, and as soon as you sent them out, would they do the pictures? That they disappeared. The government hides things, because they think people will panic, Yep. And it wasn't me that took the pictures. I was a little kid then. Yeah. I was a little kid then. Yeah. Let's see now. Kat, why would they panic? Most of us believe they could exist. Some already know because they've seen them. Exactly. That's true. Mm-hmm. Humans invaded their territory. That is the number one thing. That is so true. Yes. That's right. I agree. And it's. I could go further with that, but I'm not going to because it's going to get huge political and it's going to, not going to do it. But anyway, Dave, you're right, 100%. Okay, so we got into the thing of ghosts, and that's where the woman said, "I don't talk about that." Really? And yeah, so when she went to go get more laundry, because I was just putting mine into the dryer, And I looked at her son and I said, "What happened?" She said, well, I guess when she was younger, that she was terrorized by something in the house, and her parents were really big into church and just wouldn't listen to what she had to say. And I said, "Oh," I said, "Well," I said, she's Mexican or Latina," and
Right.
he said,
Mexican.
"No,
Yeah.
she's First Nation. She's Native."
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, and her parents don't believe in that?" No, she was actually taken away from her
Oh.
parents, and she was forced to live. And I was like, "Oh boy," and
Right.
it's a scary thing, that. But anyway, they, she had something going on, and they just wouldn't do anything about it. So, but she can't even talk about it. He said,
Yeah.
"I have tons of questions, especially when I see the Paranormal Popo, your guys' internet name." And but he was a great kid, and we
Yeah.
started on psychics and stuff like that. And it was pretty cool. They can't be too violent towards humans. They can't all suck that bad as aiming rocks. They throw a lot of them. Well,
Yeah.
again, so far that,
I've had an experience with the rock throwing thing.
right, you had an
when we went out there.
experience.
Yeah, we did.
I believe you ladies. I believe that you ladies had that experience. I do. But again, someone would come up that's a skeptical,
Oh yeah.
and like myself, and say, "Where's the proof?
Right.
Where's the proof?"
Right.
And actually, you guys kind of do have proof, if I remember right.
On what?
On video, wasn't it? Or on audio, you could hear the thuds?
No, I don't know if we did. I don't know if we caught that. I'm not sure of, because that was such a long time ago. So I'm not sure what we got on film. But yeah, we did hear thuds, and I think we did hear them. So that's the only thing, is the sound. So, but to me, and you're right, Jerry. No one's going to believe. You're absolutely right. No one's going to believe you, no matter what. No matter how you see it, no matter how you felt it, no matter what you smelled, no one's going to believe you. That's just it. They're going to criticize, but what's in your heart, what you believe in, that's all you need to me.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And at the top of that too, I mean, if you were at a place that is, you had film of it, or you had pictures of it, but it's a place that's, yes, it is, Kat. But it shows a possible landmark where somebody will know where it is.
Right.
I know you ladies. Would be like, someone would go over there, and that's your guys' research area. That's your guys' place,
right?
To go, and that's a good thing to keep that a secret. Next thing you know, you've got, we did have an investigation of a place once, not Walcott. It was a different place, and we did a reveal to the employees of that. And all the employees were sworn to secrecy, and they kept the secrecy, except for one of the people's daughter. Let it all go throughout the town. Oh. The next thing you know, they were having buildings vandalized and everything else. Yes, all because of that girl. That's why we won't take youngins. Yeah. And we really go through a grueling thing on them, about, believing in them and stuff. I think it depends on the person if you believe them or not. Exactly. That's true. I mean, that's definitely true. Paranormal writer, ghost guys, what you... Oh, my God.
I love it.
I can't believe I was actually reading that.
I'm going to do the hunt for you. That's good.
So, but no... once I got done talking with those guys, I started thinking, for some reason, the name psychic kept coming up.
Okay.
Ghost Ants came here and helped me with my TV. Thank you, sir. I now have television. And I didn't have...
What a nice guy.
Super nice guy. Super Dave, Ghost Ants guy. So anyway, so then I started, after he had left, I got on the computer and started talking about, or started looking up psychics. Now, I would say I would only pick the first one that came up. And these are ones where the psychic's going to tell you something. So 5 different ones I went to, 5 of them.
Okay.
Each one, the first 2 were $10 each. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a try. It's supposed to be somebody live there when you ask the questions. You know, they cost me $10 each. Okay. So I went and paid, or you didn't pay the fee up front. You waited till after you did the questionnaire thing with this so-called live person, you know, and then you have to pay the $10 for them to give you. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. So I did it. And the first one, I put my name, Jerry, my correct birth date, and all that other stuff and everything. And they came back with some stupid thing. Okay. You know, and it's like, oh my God, you know, it was dumb. I mean, that wasn't even real. So the next one I decided to do, which was $10 also, I did it, but I said my name is Jerry with an I and said I was a female. And they came back with one that again was dumb. You know, if this is supposed to be a real psychic, aren't they supposed to know that
it's
I'm
probably
not a male?
Computerized. Here, we'll push this.
Yeah,
looks like a Jerry with an eye, you know?
Well, they were supposed to be live. They're supposed to be live right there.
Right,
chatting with you. It's a chat. And then you have to pay for it. Yeah. So there was 3 others that I went to, and it never said how much it was, and I was going through it. I did the first one and stuff, and it said to get your private reading. And again, these are supposed to be chats. Right. You must pay the fee of $50. And it's like, oh, screw you. Right. The next $50. No. The other one started, the person was actually, I feel, was really there and was, you know, they were chatting with me. They didn't keep doing the same thing. Oh, hold for one moment, you know, as I, you know, do the reading and stuff like that. They were like on the button and stuff. But for them to give me my reading, I had to pay $100. And it's like,
You didn't pay that, did you, Jay?
Oh, no. What are you, insane?
I was going to say.
God, no. I paid for the 2 $10 ones, you know. Okay. I made a mistake in my checkbook, and I had an extra $20. Yeah. And I thought, I just want to. So there was a place that you can email, you know, of what you thought. So I did. And you're supposed to get your answers to your email if you have questions back immediately. I didn't get nothing back from those 2. But the last one, again, that was $100. I did ask live questions about it, and they were actually, you know, yeah. Look at Paranormal Writer.
Saw that.
Please hold on for a moment. Different. Called, exactly. You know, but no, it was crazy. It you know, it was. I just don't, you know, I mean, all these psychic things that are out there. I mean, we did that show one time about psychics that you have to pay them between $5,000 and $1,000 to certify you as being psychic, and that is the biggest joke in the world. Yeah,
that's a lot of money. I saw that, and I was like, this cannot be real. I looked it up because I wanted to say, okay, here I can at least synthesize what I can do, and then they'll tell you exactly what you can do, and you're either a medium or you're a psychic, you're this or you're that, you know what I mean? So I thought the same thing. I looked it up, and it's like telling you, oh, if you read these many questions and you have to take a test, but it's going to cost you $500, $300 to $500. I'm like, oh, no. Like, that is such a ripoff. It is such a ripoff. So I don't think there is a test out there.
Right. Did you see what Dave wrote? I went to a psychic, and when I got there, I knocked on the door, and she yelled, "Who is it?" So I left. Now that's funny.
That is funny.
Kat, personally, I find the best readings are those I feel connection with.
Right.
Exactly, and that's the
Absolutely.
thing with all of these. The two $10 ones, the two $50 ones, there is no connection. There's
Right.
no believable connection even. But the last person, the one that stayed on the line and did chat with me,
Hmm.
they, I believe that they could have been legitimate,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you never know.
Right, exactly. Especially when you're paying for something, or when you're telling people that you're this psychic. And you're right, Kat. I think it was Kat that says that the best readings are from those who you feel like you connect. Like a lot of these shows, these vending shows with psychic readers and stuff like that. I kind of like going around the room, and then I see who's, how I feel about them and stuff like that. And then I'll be like, okay, maybe I should get a reading from this person, or maybe, you know what I mean? And just in that little bit of time, if they look at you and they're watching you, and that's good, because you're connecting. That's how you connect. And there's some people that'll be like a wall, but you want them to connect. So you have to just open it up and let them be able to connect with you. You know what I mean? Some people just are very stubborn, and you're not going to get your good reading if you're shut down, So yes, I truly believe looking one-on-one is the best kind of psychic reading you can get.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. Big Bird did say a while back, yes, my buddy heard Sasquatch in Oregon, but even though he could not put the sound to an animal, he still wouldn't believe it was Sasquatch. Well, that's good because...
Big Bird, did you hear that? Did you hear the sound too, Big Bird, I wonder? Just wondering.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Talking. No, she said that he heard it.
Oh, okay.
And then she's saying that, but he still won't believe it was Sasquatch. Well, yeah, there's so far, there really is nobody come forward to say what Sasquatch sounds like.
Right.
The whoops and stuff like that, it's very interesting. Do I believe they could possibly be? Yes, they could possibly be, but who's to say it's not?
Well, yeah, because honestly, I never. Okay, so I've been with Squatches for a long time, and we were also connected with another group of ladies or whatnot. But when I was up in Kansas, I think we did a show in Kansas, a vending show. The men were actually doing whoop whoop. I didn't even know they did a whoop sound like that. You know what I mean? I was like, well, how's to say that they do that? I mean, do you actually see the Sasquatch doing that whooping sound, And apparently they believe that they do this whoop sound down south. And I don't know if it's a South language or whatnot, but I'm just saying, that to me, that was interesting. I'll just have to say.
But but here's the thing on that. I mean, I believe, could it be Bigfoot? It could possibly be. What else is making that sound in the woods? So, okay. All right. Now, I'm not questioning you, Big Bird. I'm just saying is that until someone gets a video of Bigfoot actually making these sounds, and even with a parabolic mic, which I had one too, and even how it was described, if there's no real physical evidence or proof of it, could it be a bird? Could it be a fisher? Could it be something like that? It could be.
Well, aren't there like those whooping birds that are down south? And that's where they kept saying that they did that. I mean, I'm just saying. Is it? I mean, who's to say?
Well, they say that it's up here too. That they have been whooping. I remember when we actually went out. Now there's a good thing right there, Paranormal Writer. For all we know, the whoop could be the sound of them coming into and out of dimension.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Can't do it if doors closed. Well, yeah, that could. But anyway, no. I even lost my train of thought. I gotta stop reading the room here, and one of us has got to start reading it and discuss it. But anyway, it's time for break, so let's go to break, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Thank you all very much.
Oh. UFOs. Bigfoot. Cryptid.
All of this on the call. Just think if you listen to the words of Paranormal
Are you haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers?
Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid of? Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para X Radio and at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com.
What are you afraid of on Para X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction. We are ready to scare you.
Para X.
Red, where are you going?
I'm going back to the Paranormal View, back where I belong.
Please, take me with you.
No, I'm through with everything here. I want to see if there's something left in life I haven't explored. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Red, don't run to them. They talk about ghosts and hauntings, UFOs, and all kind of supernatural scary stuff.
You'll never understand, will you, Scarlet?
No!
Well, that's your misfortune.
Red, if you go, where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear. Line!
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
That's the Paranormal View with your host, Henry Foister, Jeffrey Gould, and Barbara Duncan. Every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the Para X Radio Network.
And we're back. This is Jerry with the calling, and Kimberly Juarez, the Mo-host. Anyway, so if you guys are enjoying the show so far, and maybe you got in halfway through like Trost did just now, it begins at 7, young man. Anyway, if you guys are, if you want to listen to the whole thing in entirety, you can actually go to www.thecallingradioshow.com. It should be on there by about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow. Also on our YouTube channel, The Calling Radio Show, and you can get it there too. Subscribe, so if you don't get to come to listen to us live, where we're even sexier than you've ever imagined. You can at least listen to us there too. That's stupid. Anyway, so there's a bunch of shows on Para X that is worth talking about, even though they never talk about us. Also, there's The Gathering. Stephanie and Heidi sit down at the old metaphysical table, and they have fun chatting the most interesting stuff you've ever heard. That is on Tuesday nights from 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Para X. There's also the new show every Sunday night called He Said, She Said, The Cryptid Show. Again, Stephanie and Tommy Cooper. Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of fun there. And again, that's on at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, or 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right after this show is Geeks Paranormal, the Ladies of Wine. That's right. They are on next after this show, so stick around so you can listen to them. So what do we got here? We got a lot of people just talking.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. So we've done our duty. Let's a friend of mine just said to me just a moment ago, let's just read what they talk about. No, right? I'm kidding.
That's a show in itself.
That is. So, one of the big things is that, the kid, when I was talking with the kid down there too, and the mother did say that, how do you know that any of these facts are really real? Mm-hmm. I said, well, that's the thing is, it's a huge range of different things that are going on that we believe. Right. We have EVPs. Where did it come from? You know, especially we're the only ones there.
Right.
And we
Absolutely.
all are trained, and we all believe in each other, that not the other person is not going to try to fudge what they're doing. And then we, you know, catch something and find out what we can do about it.
Right.
I said we've even had people that we know that have passed even say things to us.
Yeah, communicate it back. Yep.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. Now, some people may say, how do you know it was something good and not something bad? Well, at the same time, we didn't feel anything bad in there. We didn't find anything bad in there. You know, none of us went home and, you know, our kids started eating or spitting up green pea soup and floating above the bed, you know, or something like that. And then she asked me, she said, so do you think that all old buildings are haunted? And I said, any building can be haunted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, don't you believe that?
No. I'm just saying, oh, really, that she came up saying that. Yeah, well, the soil is haunted. The ground is haunted, you know?
Well, could be haunted. You know, it could be, too, that, you know, it has nothing to do with the ground. And this is my belief now. I didn't mean to jump on you for it. Is that, you know, people, like, for quite a while there, I always thought that if I died, I would go to the place that I was my happiest at, and that was Stashu's Bar, when I used to bartend there for all those years. And now thinking back, it's like, you know, thinking now that really wasn't my fun place, and that I really hope I don't have to go there for my eternity, you know. And some people believe that, you know, when you die, you go off to what is it the Catholics believe?
For what? On haunting?
When you die.
Oh, we believe that, you know, that we die, we go to heaven, and, you know, and some of us believe that we can come back, some of us don't. You know, some of us don't even want to talk about it, you know, so, but then we're praying again to, like, days like All Souls Day, and we pray for the dead, and we pray for, I mean, even just this last Lent, it's like this thing that they were saying about how Jesus took these two men up to a mountain, and then they saw the light of God, and they were afraid because they saw this light. Now, I just I just leaned over to Art and said, that's a spirit, you know, so it is a spirit, you know, they're talking about a spirit in the Bible, you know, so yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Right. Like purgatory, stuff like that. I mean, but, you know, my belief, I think everybody they've got their own belief on
absolutely
exactly what happens. You know, I believe that if a person, and Dave kind of put it pretty good too, the spirit world is all around us. You
absolutely
need not do searching for it. You're already there. And that's true. I believe that, you know. And Stephanie, yeah, you know, I like the idea of being carried away by the Valkyries to Valhalla, you know. But then, you know, what is another thing for that? A lot of people say that, no, you can't idolize a false god. So the gods there are not, you know, it just drives you nuts. It's just that I think each one of us believe in their own heaven within themselves.
Right.
And I think that, you know,
I think too,
we'll all
with
know
one
when
God,
we die.
This is me too. With everybody's God, they all believe in a God, and I feel like there's a connection. There's going to be a connection, you know, later on, and that, you know, you could talk about what you believe and how they believe. You know, everybody has their own opinion. You really do. I don't want to get too into it, but I'm just saying, you know. So that's just my belief, though.
Right.
You know. So yeah.
Yeah, and like Steph said, you know, how do you know? You really don't know.
Right.
Paranormal, I'm going to come back, hopefully.
Yeah, there's so many people talking. Love it.
I know. Paranormal writer said he's going to come back, hopefully, as a whale or a dolphin, something like that. That makes more sense. Yeah, you never know. Wow, look at it. Just go, go, go. I believe there will be chocolate and wine, Jerry.
Oh,
well, there you go, Sherry. You know,
I want to visit Steph's heaven. And donuts. Holy cow! I love donuts.
Well,
Just saying.
Stephanie, you just missed it a little bit ago when I talked about a lot of people haven't gone into the deep woods yet looking for Bigfoot. And the reason I know why you Squatcher girls have not done that yet, it's not that you're scared. No, that's not at all. It's there's no Starbucks. And I know that Katie would have to lug her Keurig machine on her back out there, and there's just no place to plug it in. So it's no, I'm kidding. No, I know you guys, the Squatchers, you girls are definitely, top notch. And I like it that, you guys don't believe everything that you guys hear. Right. That there's got to be proof to it. And that's what makes a good investigator. Right.
And all the girls have their own opinion, which is fabulous, and if one person, they kind of put you down to bring you down back on earth when you're sitting there getting excited and stuff like that. But, that's the beauty of the ladies. And they actually looked really good. Did you watch their live? They looked amazing.
Oh,
of
course
I know
they did.
I just hope we're all together when we do find that. You know what I mean? Because we're always doing, we all work and we all have our own jobs, but, some of us get out there and hope to God that when we do find him, we will be all together. It'll be awesome.
Well, when it comes to the deep woods stuff, what I'm talking about is the deep woods, going through for days with food and water on your back and everything else. That's going into the deep woods. How do you know Bigfoot doesn't have a Starbucks?
I know, right?
When you see him.
Well, tell him to get ready for some coffee and some lady talk, because we're going to be out there. We'll bring the donuts. We'll tell Bigfoot.
When are you going out there with the ladies?
I'll be out there soon. I just got a job. I got to make sure I get my job first. But I will be going out there. And as a matter of fact, I am going to be investigating down south in the Iowa area. So I have to do some research right now and then get out there to do some squatching of my own. So, yes. So, yeah, I'm definitely going out there. There's a couple of events and stuff we got to get doing. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I didn't mean to put you on the wagon. I'm just asking, and stuff. Okay. My bad. Let's see now. So now there was another thing. Aliens. This is one thing that the kid brought up, and I guess I never knew this, but everybody talks about the Greys, and they talk about the green little alien, but I didn't know this, but this kid really did his research. I mean, I like this kid. He's good.
He's probably into the paranormal. That's why he noticed your name. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, well, I gave him one of my cards. He thought, oh, my God, he's living in here. And I guess his sister is just as big into the paranormal. So, I'm sure there's going to be lots of knocks on the door, or they're going to be stopping myself or Nicole and saying, okay, we need to talk about this. But, when I said little green men is what I said to him. And he said, actually, it was the Greys were in the Roswell incident. Ooh. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, it was little gray men. It was never really little green men. Mm-hmm. I said, so what do you think they look like? He said, well, large black buggy eyes. Mm-hmm. And I said, and nose? No. And just like a little slit for their mother. And I said, and in big heads. He goes, yeah. And I said, so do you think that they're part of what do you call that? Reptilians. And he's like, well, possibility. I said, but then that would be the little green ones. He said, it can be the gray ones also. And I said, really? Because, this kid was, I guess I know about UFOs.
Right.
I know about, the different shapes, the triangular ones, the cigar-shaped ones, or the V-shaped ones and saucers. But, I didn't know about, some of the other stuff, that, It's pretty incredible.
Well, Jerry, my daughter had an experience when she was 6 years old. What happened was we were living in a house, and I guess apparently I found out later that there was some type of UFO experiences that people were having. And she woke up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, and when she looked down the hall, she says that she came running, and she said she saw the grays. That's all she kept saying. And a 6-year-old my daughter is not going to know what a gray is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So she had to have seen something, and she couldn't go to sleep for days. She had so much trouble after that. And I've had experiences too. So what he's saying is, I truly believe there were these grays at one point. I don't know. Well, now I'm sure they're still out there, but apparently people were having these experiences with UFOs at that time. So I just thought that was pretty interesting, especially for a little girl to say. So yeah, and now that little boy saying it, see, there you go. Only tells you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Definitely true.
And there's so many planets out there. There's got to be different species, different types, different looks, different, just like people. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I even said to him, I said, that scientists have already classified the skies, like the east, west, north, and south, as in being different colors of ships. Mm-hmm. And some of them are different shapes, but different colors come from different parts of the galaxy in a different way. And he's like, what? And I said, yeah. I said, I was reading up on that. I said, you may want to check into that. And he goes, okay, I will. And he says, you're in 205. And I'm like, oh, God. It's like, yes, I am. So it'll be interesting to see that. Steve was saying you may want to get Minnesota MUFON on the show sometime. So we actually did. We had, what was his name? Craig, I can't remember his last name now. He came on the show once. Really, really nice guy. He now has, he passed away a few years ago and stuff. Oh. Had a heart attack. Yeah. Craig Lang is his name. I would love to have had him back on. This guy was so nice. Not like the MUFON of actually I think he died longer than that. The MUFON guy that we dealt with when down in Rochester, when our two newbies had to do there was a UFO that was seen down there during the day, and we made them go and check it out. And they got a hold of MUFON, and MUFON says it's an ongoing case. Nothing I can tell you. It's like,
wow.
What? Yeah, I was very, very surprised about that. Mm-hmm. Jean Walker, I think she was on.
Yeah, we did. She? Yeah, Jean Walker. Yeah, she is awesome. She's the one that told me that I must have had that, because I had my experience. I told her about my experience. She told me that I probably was some type of, I guess the aliens were attracted to me of some sort. And then I found out later that my mother and my sister also had alien experiences, like kind of weirded. So I've asked my mom, I wanted to learn a little bit more, but my mom's like, she didn't want to talk about it, kind of. So I was like, you could go on the show, Mom.
Right? Yeah.
To ask, because they've had these weird, odd experiences, and I never knew it until I spoke of it. And my mom, she told. This was the funny thing, Jerry. When I told my mom about it, my experience, she totally believed me instantly.
Right.
So that's odd for me, because I was thinking, how would she believe me? Why would she believe me? You would think, oh, Mom, that my mom would say, oh, forget, whatever you saw wasn't true and blah, blah, blah. No, she absolutely believed me. And then later I found out she had experiences too.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to bring on a couple of different MUFON people at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Especially that are in different places.
That's a good idea.
Well, when we had Paranormal Writer on, you were on that show, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was, he's a pilot, and he had a story of when it happened and stuff. And I reached out to MUFON in that area, and they actually, had said that, yes, there was a report a few years later, and it happened on that date that these people were talking about, and they actually seen a small craft and then a UFO sort of challenging it, coming towards it, while another one flew down deep and came up from behind it and told me, all about the stuff that was going on. They sent an email about it. And poor Ryder, I felt so bad for him because, well, actually I didn't. That's just the way I roll. But I didn't want to tell him anything that I found. All I told him was that, yes, I found something, but I'm not going to tell you until the show's on. He's like, okay, now you're making me really nervous.
Right.
And it's like, but it was a great show. And he said, still freaks me out, Jerry. Never knew that there was another one behind me. Yeah.
That is crazy. And that's the validation, wasn't it, Ryder, for him? Because he didn't even know that this was going on at that time.
Exactly.
That's what happened to me too.
Exactly.
I found out validation after my experience.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And the funny thing is, the other one could have been holding his attention, while the other one could have flown behind him and plucked him out of there, and we would have never seen him again.
Right. Well,
Think about the next time you're up in the air there, Ryder. Oh, yeah. Now he's going to get all paranoid.
No little chips in him. Make sure he has no chips. Check your body, Ryder. Check your body. You never know.
Yep. Freaking me out, man, he says. Okay. No, it just people that are listening on the TuneIn app or just listening to us audio, or just the audio part of it. What we're doing is there's a chat room, and if you go to paraxradionetwork.com, it's a free chat room, and you can ask us questions live. And there's a lot of people that are talking on here at the same time, and this is absolutely fantastic. I love it when people have a lot of good input. I don't believe some of the input that's on there and stuff, but I'm not going to get into an argument as much as I would like to, because I'm just not that guy. I know Kimberly is, and we can see each other on Skype. So when she reads something, she's like, "What?" And you guys don't even know it. I'm like, "Stop. Stop it right now.
Okay.
You're a troublemaker. You're a total troublemaker."
I am not a troublemaker.
You go to work tomorrow, since you work in a church, and you confess your sins. Yes. And you go out there and do 20,000 Hail Mary jumping jacks.
And jumping jacks at the same time.
Exactly.
Father Shabelle, what are you doing, Kim?
I'm doing my exercises at the same time, sir.
Yep, absolutely.
So, that's a good thing, Steve. He said, you should have a good remote viewer try to view a UFO. Now, I have reached out again to my good friend, Mrs. V, Valentina Lomborg, and I did bring up that fact of UFOs, why, if they can or cannot remote view UFOs, either here in the United States or here in the world or outside of the world. And why also that, there's some people that don't believe in actually going out and looking for Bigfoot. They believe that they can sit in their little apartment and have the temperature really, really cold in there and sit there and just try to remote view where Bigfoot will be. And that's just, I'm sorry, in my book, in my opinion, that's a crock of crap, I mean, but is it possible? I don't know. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert. I've never said that I'm an expert, and I've
no one's
also
an expert,
said
Jerry.
No
That's
one's
all I
an
gotta
expert.
do. No one's an
Exactly.
expert.
No
You
one.
learn all the time. Anything, whether it's paranormal, ghost, anything. No one's an expert.
Yeah, that's true. And Steve just brought up a good point. He did say, I believe our government is really big in remote viewing. I do agree with that.
I agree with that, too.
that I mean, take a look. Like, number one, the Nazis. You know, good old Hitler there. He was big into the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
He kept trying to bring the dead to him to fight the living. And there was a lot of stuff that was involved in that. And even our government, you know, the United States Army, there's a couple people that, what's RH negative?
I'm at RH negative. That's what Steph said.
Which means alien blood.
Alien blood. Oh, yeah.
What?
Really, Steph? Are you really? Because that's true. That it is, RH is, apparently there's another type of blood type. So, yeah. Yep.
It's a blood type. RH.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. And
wow.
Oh, I wish I had something here. I wish to be able to read it. But anyways, yeah, there is. It's a different type of blood type that's rare, very rare. So
really,
yeah,
I never thought she was that. I'm actually looking it up. RH blood type.
She's a fairy.
RH factor is inherited protein food on the surface of red blood cells.
Writer.
Talking.
Oh, sorry.
If your blood has this protein, you're RH positive. If your blood lacks the protein, you're RH negative. RH positive is the most common blood type. I've never knew there was such a thing.
I just learned that.
Talking. The RH blood group system is one of 36 known human blood group system. It is the second most important blood group system after the ABO blood group system. Why do they keep saying blood group system? Consists of 49 defined blood group antigens, among which 5 antigens DC and then little c, big E, and little e are the most important. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm shocked. I'm totally shocked. Wow. So 5% of the world population are negative. Jeez. Well, what's the G's part? You know, it's like, okay. And then the oofta, so it's got to be a Nordic thing.
A Nordic thing.
You know, and I think Casey's some kind of weird blood. I'm just A positive. I think I'm the one that they want the most. You know, pretty much everybody is, because they could live off my blood or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps her afloat when she wanders into the mud. No, that's called Cindy.
Stuck.
That's Cindy. Well, you don't know this, Kimberly, but I bought Steph a small shovel, one of those little trench shovels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the next time it happens, she can either A, dig herself out, or Cindy doesn't have to have a brain aneurysm, you know, pulling so hard to try to get her.
Right.
I think it's hilarious. Anyway, so we're just 2 minutes out, or 1 minute out, not even a minute. And this has been an interesting show. Thank you very much there, Mrs. Juarez.
I thought it was very good subjects to talk about. It's that little boy. Tell him thank you.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to, you know. I'll have to get him a hat or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. All right. Well, you know, you guys, Casey is O positive. Whatever. Oh, I forgot. There's a delay in this. Cindy says she's not saving me anymore. She will. My God. She can't let you go. No. Just make sure you carry the coffee.
All right.
Suck it down underneath there. Anyway, so everybody stick around for the... oh, my God. I can't remember their names. Geeks Paranormal. Oh, my God. What an idiot. Stick around for Geeks Paranormal. They're on next. Thank you, Para X. Thank you, Sarge, so much. You are...
Thank you, Sarge.
God, so sexy. I can't stand it. Anyway, good night, everybody, and we'll see you all
next week.
Good night,
everyone.